Jez is a normal teenager looking forward to summer camp. The kind of camp millions of teenagers attend every year, ready to meet new friends, relax, and have fun. But tonight, the camp will be turned into a bloodbath by a deranged psychopath who is hunting you down.
What's up everyone, I'm Dan and I've got the perfect game for the Halloween period thanks to Houndpick Games for the review code. This is Camp Sunshine on the Nintendo Switch. Camp Sunshine is a game that blends nostalgia, horror and humor into a delightful 16-bit blood-soaked experience. It's a survival horror that pays homage to classic slasher movies like Friday the 13th and A Nightmare on Elm Street and more. The game puts players in the shoes of Jez, a teenager dropped off at a summer camp, only to wake up in the middle of the night to discover blood everywhere and a psychotic killer in a mascot costume. As Jez, players must piece together the mystery behind the camp's dark history while avoiding a deadly killer who could be lurking anywhere. At first glance, Camp Sunshine looks like an innocent retro-style RPG, but it quickly throws you into a world of tension, terror and bloodshed. With plenty of jump scares, dark themes and a narrative that pulls you deeper into its grim story, the game cleverly blends its cute pixelated art style with a mature slasher-filled plot. What makes Camp Sunshine stand out though is its use of humour. Despite its horror-centric core, the game doesn't take itself too seriously, delivering funny moments that offer some levity amid the nightmarish atmosphere. The game revolves around exploration and survival with some light puzzle solving to keep things interesting. As Jez, you must navigate the sprawling campgrounds, uncover hidden secrets and piece together clues from scattered diary pages to unravel the story behind Isaac Illerman, the twisted serial killer at the heart of the chaos. The game doesn't hold your hand, there's no combat so you can't fight the killer, instead you're left with the classic survival horror tactic of running and hiding, which builds a constant sense of tension. 2 hits and it's game over. The non-linear exploration allows you to explore at your own pace, but the threat of the killer showing up anywhere at any time keeps you on edge the entire time. This deadly game of cat and mouse is punctuated by well-executed jump scares that are all the more impressive given the game's retro aesthetic. And despite the 16-bit graphics, the atmosphere is thick with suspense thanks largely to the lighting mechanics and sound design. The flickering lights, airy ambient noises, and unsettling music combine to create a genuinely creepy experience. It's even more tense when you hear the killer taunting you, telling that he's going to find you. You're given a flashlight to help you see in the dark, but this will attract the killer and can also run out of batteries, so you must find the right times to use it. I found myself wandering around without much need of it, but it does help in certain situations. Camp Sunshine is not just about surviving, it also features puzzles and a story that slowly unfolds as you progress. The puzzles aren't too difficult, which keeps the game's pace moving forward, but they still offer enough challenge to make you feel rewarded when you solve them. The game's main objective involves collecting diary pages that shed light on the camp's sinister past. These pieces of the story are scattered throughout the camp, and finding them all is the key to both solving the mystery and surviving the night. One of the standout elements is how the story incorporates classic horror tropes and references iconic franchises. From subtle nods to Friday the 13th to hidden tributes to A Nightmare on Elm Street or Gremlins, horror fans will appreciate the love letter Camp Sunshine delivers to the genre. Despite the dark themes, the dialogue and interactions between characters are often laced with humour, which helps balance the horror and adds charm to the game. The game's 16-bit pixel art style is a throwback to classic games of the 90s, which instantly gives its nostalgic appeal. But Camp Sunshine doesn't just rely on nostalgia, the retro aesthetic is coupled with modern lighting effects that elevate the horror atmosphere. Shadows, flickering lights and other visual tricks are used to great effect, making the campground feel like a place that you don't want to be after dark. The killer's design in particular is both creepy and oddly humorous, with his oversized mascot costume adding a layer of playfulness to the terror. The game plays with expectations, offering moments of levity before plunging you back into the suspenseful hunt. The sound design in Camp Sunshine is one of the strongest elements, from the subtle ambient noises of the camp at night to the heart-pounding chase music when the killer is near. The audio plays a huge role in building tension. Even in moments when nothing is happening, the soundtrack keeps you on edge, making you constantly question whether the killer is lurking just around the corner. This is especially impressive considering the game's retro format. I hadn't heard much about Camp Sunshine before, but after my time with it, I found that it was a brilliant blend of retro charm, horror and humour. It's a game that will appeal to fans of classic slasher films, retro RPGs and indie horror. With its tense atmosphere, clever use of lighting and sound, and well-timed jump scares, the game succeeds in creating a genuinely unsettling experience despite its pixelated art style. The nods to iconic horror franchises and the self-aware humour add to its charm, making it a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, even as it delivers plenty of scares. If you're looking for a short but intense horror experience with a nostalgic twist, Camp Sunshine on the Nintendo Switch is well worth your time and is on the cheaper side. It's a game that proves you don't need high-end graphics to deliver a compelling horror experience. You just need a good story, strong atmosphere, and a killer on the loose. Camp Sunshine is out now on the Nintendo eShop, priced at $5.69 in the UK and $6.99 in the US. Thanks as always to you all for watching, and until next time.
Come here, kid.